Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Beastly Bader, welcoming you back to another episode of the Bate Escape. How's everyone doing? Oh man, it's been a while since I recorded one of these. I know, and I'd like to apologize for not bringing you an episode last week, but I gotta tell you, it's been pretty hectic over here. Work's been keeping me busy. Life has been keeping me busy. There's just a lot of shit going on right now. So, yeah, I apologize for not having an episode last week for y'all to listen to, but yeah, I got carried away with a bunch of other stuff. So, this is my opportunity to catch up with y'all. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well and keeping warm. If it's getting really fucking cold, just to realize. So I moved into this new apartment in the summer and it was really hot. So I was like, okay, cool. Like we can cool down and like put on the air conditioning or whatever. But I didn't realize how cold the apartment would get because it's the first time I've been in this apartment and it gets pretty chilly in my bedroom. And I'm just like, shit. I gotta get me like a, I gotta get me a like an electro heater or something because it's gross, man. I hate, when you're sleeping like in one position and it's like warm and comfy and like you feel so good and it's cuddly, and then like you'll move an inch to the right or the left and it's a fucking ice box. It's the worst. And then you have to like wait a couple minutes till that part of the bed warms up, and then you switch positions. You gotta do it all over again. I hate that. Maybe I should get like an electrical warm blanket. That's a good idea. That's a thing, right? I feel like it's a thing. It has to be a thing. I'm gonna def look into it. God, there's so much to catch up on. How was everyone's Halloween? I hope everyone had a really great, fun, safe Halloween under the circumstances. Halloween was definitely not canceled this year. I had fun. What did I do? I went over to my friend's house and we had dinner and we cooked vegan, gluten free brownies and we watched Hocus Pocus. And then I smoked a bunch of weed and I fell asleep. So that was fun, man. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better, right? And then we had a card reading, which is really cool. It's kind of like a animal seance, which is really nice. I'm currently drinking some tea because it's freezing in my bedroom. And this tea is definitely helping to warm me up. How do you all feel about the election results? Yeah, I'm going to bring it up. I'm not afraid to bring up that topic on this podcast. Listen, it affects me. Okay. This is real shit right here. This is our fucking country. And the person that I voted for won. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. Honestly, cool. Joe Biden's in the house, whatever. All I see is Kamala Harris. I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing. I mean, she's the first female biracial person of color to take that presidency. I mean, come on. That's pretty amazing. I for one am so excited that I am alive to witness that shit because that to me it's really profound. And it's so empowering to so many people who are marginalized in this country, and I think things are going to get a lot better whether you voted for him, whether you didn't vote for him. I just think that he's going to be a president that's going to take care of all people in this country, something that the current president certainly did not do. And there is factual information if you're going to argue about what he did and what he did not do, and the facts are out there. So yeah, I for one am very happy with the election results. And it wasn't a close call. Like I feel like he won by a landslide. So I think the country definitely needed change. And we're a democracy, and we exercise our right to vote, and that's how that works, right? So I'm happy about that. I'm not mad at that at all. Don't mind me while I drink my tea. um, what else is new? How's everyone's been? I hope you're all doing well. Again, you can follow me on social if you want to be social with me. I love when you guys are social with me. You can follow me on Twitter and Snapchat and Facebook not Facebook, Instagram. I actually hate Facebook, Instagram, and bateroll.com. And you can find me being fun and sharing more cool information that I'm currently learning while I am training to be a sex coach, which is really fun for me. And I've been doing a lot of reading, which is really cool. I love to read. There's been a lot of information, really cool information that I've been learning thus far in my sex coaching classes. One of the things that we had to listen to was an audiobook by Brene Brown. If you don't know who that is, she's amazing. She studies vulnerability and shame. And we had to read this, or we had to listen to this audiobook called, I think it's called Men, Women, and Worthiness. And it was a really great audiobook on learning how to differentiate between shame and guilt. And it's really important that we do that, especially when regards to sex, because there's so much sex shaming going on. So it's really important to be able to distinguish between shame, which shame and what's the easiest way to put this? So the easiest way to learn this is like shame is I am bad, and then guilt is I did something bad. So you can apply those two concepts. You can apply that one concept to a lot of things in your life. It's really been an eye opener for me because what it does, or what it did for me, is that it really made me focus on who I was as a person, and so it kind of reflected back on decisions that I made, conversations that I had, and I can really begin to distinguish between, yes, okay, I might have said something mean, but I'm not a mean person, right? Or I could have done something really disgusting, but I'm not a disgusting person. I just think it's really important to differentiate, because so many people right now have a lot of sex shame, and they're internalizing the shame, and so which stops them from kind of going out there and getting all the things that they want, and having the best sex that they possibly can. So, and that's one of the goals of this podcast, really, is to like de-shame sex and like learn to really assess what your needs are, and not to be ashamed about the things that you want in your life. I think one of the most major things that I had to come to terms with was the shame of like not wanting to have a lot of penetrative sex. And I internalized that shame as like not being masculine enough, not wanting to do like what guys do, not being bro enough, like not wanting to like procreate, like that's not like my thing. And I internalized that as like me being less than or deficient. And it's totally not true. We all know that masturbation is a total valid form of sex. And if you don't know that, now you do. So go forth and masturbate your penis and share that with anyone and everyone you want, because that is your right. And you have agency. You can totally just go for all the wonderful things that you want out of sex. Speaking of sex, who's having really great sex? I had to take a popper break because I feel like I was doing too much, and it was kind of affecting my lungs a little bit. It's kind of freaking me out. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to feel this way with my lungs. I really feel like I should take a break. So I'm currently on a popper break, which is good. I feel like if you do too much, it can really take a toll on your body. So brothers, if you're a popper baiter, make sure that you're getting in some breaks in there. Okay, like you got to take it easy on your body. And the best thing about taking a break is that when you get back into poppers, like you really feel it. Like it's you'll definitely go now because your body heals itself, and like when you finally get back to it, it's really empower. It's like powerful. So it's really good to take breaks sometimes. Um, Masturbation is cool. You know, I still keep up with my daily practice. I think I think the last couple of weeks I've been really busy with work and life stuff that you know my baits haven't been that great. And that's okay. They're not always gonna be amazing. Um I just do it because it's my again, it's my form of meditation. Somebody called it oh god, it was really good. It was like genius. I was like, oh, I'm gonna steal that. They said they metabate. Get it? Isn't that genius? Why didn't I think of that? I forgot who it was. I think it was someone on Snapchat. I would definitely want to give them credit if I remember who that person was. I don't know. But yeah, they were just like, hey, bro, like, I love your podcast. I too metabate. And I was like, oh, damn, that's so good. Sucks I can't claim that. Um, but yeah, that's what's been going on. Nothing too crazy. You know, they're really short, which is fine. I'm just, you know, I'm getting it in because it's my practice and it's something that it's who I am. It's my lifestyle. So, um, uh, just been taking it easy on that front. But how have you been? Hopefully, everyone's doing really well. And everyone's again keeping warm because it's getting really cold, and that you all are looking forward to the holidays. I'm already playing holiday music, which is really fun. So I used to not be a big holiday music person, and now I fucking love it. Like I can't get enough. Like November 1st, give me all the holiday playlists. I don't know what it is, man. I think it's like my fucking age. As I get older, I'm just like, oh, I love holiday music. That's my old man voice. If that didn't come across. Anyway, tonight, I really want to talk to you about something that happened to me over the weekend, and it's something that I learned in my sex coaching class, and it fucking worked. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people have a hard time doing. And if you're able to do it well, you can really like get away with having some really great sex. Um, and the thing that I implemented in this situation, and I'll go into it in a little bit, is called attunement. And if you don't know what attunement is, the definition is it describes how reactive a person is to another's emotional needs and moods. So when a person is well attuned, you're going to respond with like appropriate language and behaviors, which you're basing on the other person's emotional state. Um, which is something that we've learned in sex coaching, and we've had to actually practice it with other people in our class. And I thought it was so interesting because I feel like attunement naturally happens, but sometimes it doesn't. And it happened to me. So I met a bro on Scruff, and we had been talking for a little bit, and he decided that he was going to come over, which he did. Totally cool. We were having a really great time. You know, we were vibing. We put on some music. We were hanging out. We were, you know, playing around, getting to the good stuff. Um, and I realized during the course of our sexual escapade that I found myself like talking a lot. And this person wasn't talking at all. So, a little thing about me is that one of my love languages is verbal affirmation. So, anytime that I'm engaging in sex, like I typically kind of speak out what's happening to get like a positive reinforcement that everything's good. It's something that I'm trying to work on. So, for example, like if we're cuddling or if we're kissing, I'll casually mention like, "Oh, this feels really good to me," right? Okay, so I was trying to do this with this bro, and the first time it happened, I was like, I was asking him like, "Oh, does this feel good? What I'm doing, does this feels really good? Are you having a good time?" And then I think I said something like, "You don't have to be shy. You can talk to me. You can express how you're feeling." And then he quickly responded. He's like, "Or maybe I'm just not a talkative person." Okay, breathing. Okay, I will honestly say that it took me, yeah, it caught me off guard. And in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm not going to internalize this. Like, I don't know what's happening here. So I really had to pivot. My first reaction was, he doesn't like it. I suck. This isn't going the way I planned. He's totally not feeling me. Because I should mention that this guy wasn't a baiter. Like, this guy was just like a regular, dude that was like trying to hang out. We never once talked about solo sexuality or being a baiter or anything of that nature. So as we continued, so then that situation happened, and I was like, okay, I can still stick with this, right? I can still recuperate. Just be in the moment, let it pass. It's not about you. Fine. So then we kept doing our thing, kept doing our thing, kept doing our thing. And then I kept like, I started having that baiter buddy talk. And we all know what that baiter buddy talk is, right? So I'm just like talking to him like, yeah, bro, like I'm taking care of my buddy. Like, you're my bro. I'm having such a good time with my dude. Like, we're bonding as men. He was not feeling it. He just kept looking at me and like laughing, which again, I was just like, okay, this is the second time in the entire night that this happened to me. I'm not feeling very good about this at all right now. So like that was like another turning point. So like, okay, how do I recoup? How do I navigate this? I'm feeling some type of way. Just go with it. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. Um, and then the last thing that happened, and this is where kind of like I started remembering like attunement. We were like, I think we were making out, and then I was just like, yeah, like you kiss really well, like everything that you're doing feels really great to me. I feel really good right now, right? And then he was just like, good, great for you. Okay, he wasn't being a dick. Here's the thing. I wasn't attuning to his emotional state. And when you find yourself in a situation like that, you really have to start to assess, and it happens so quickly. So the first couple of times it happened, I started internalizing as, okay, he's not having a good time. Like, there's something wrong. What I'm saying is annoying him. I'm being annoying. So I started shaming myself. I started thinking, God, I'm not good enough for him. This isn't how it's supposed to happen. What am I doing wrong? I'm a bobo. Cut it the fuck out, right? So then the first thing we have to do is kind of knock that out of the way and be like, okay, this isn't about you. This is who you are. This is how you have your sex, and it's totally valid. You're being your authentic self. He's just not responding well to it. So then I thought, okay, let me change things up around here. So then I was like, okay, well, just let me attune. Let me just vibe out with him, right? So another way that you can think about attunement is, um, like, learn to read the room. I think that's a really great way to think about it too. So like, let's say you're like at a party and you're like telling jokes and like no one's laughing at your jokes. It's probably a good idea to just shut up. Like, stop. Obviously, your jokes aren't landing. Really, no one's kind of laughing. So maybe you should just kind of step back, kind of vibe out a little bit more. Don't really think about it too much. Kind of do your thing. Um, it's the same thing in sex. So when you find your partner really not responding to the things that you're doing, it's time to take a step back and meet them at their emotional state. So what I noticed about this guy was he wasn't talkative. I could tell he was having a good time because physically he was still hard and he was still making out with me and he was still engaging. So that gave me a sign like, okay, I'm still in this game. I'm still in it to win it. I'm going to kind of work. I'm going to finesse it in a way where I can still salvage this night. And I did. So one of the things I stopped doing was I stopped talking so much. And then I just kind of eased into his emotional state. I felt like I was so hyped up and excited that this guy had come over because I had wanted him to come over for a long time. That when he was finally in front of me and we were finally playing, um, I wasn't gauging my emotional state. Like I was just so fucking turned. I was like on 10 and he was probably like at 5 or 4. So then I was like, okay, I got to come down to his level because I'm too turned up right now. And I got to just manage his emotional state. And when I did that, then we had a really great time. So, um, I was able to kind of salvage the night and I was able to kind of really attune to his emotional state. He was much more passive, he was much more chill, didn't really talk. And so I kind of met him at that level. I stopped talking, I chilled out, I smoked some more weed, put on some more music, and then we were just vibing. So essentially, what I did was I read the room, I read who he was. I was matching his attitude, I was matching his frequency. I was I was calming the energies down so I could be with him one on one and really attuned to what he was vibing with. And it worked out great. And he had a great time and he wants to come back again. So I feel like that was a huge success. And I felt like in the past I had a really hard time attuning to people. Like I just automatically assumed people would just be hyped because I was hyped and I could make people hyped up about the situation that was happening. But that's not the case. Like we have to let people we have to meet people halfway and we have to meet people as they are. So that was a really great lesson learned for me. And I thought, God, I got to share this with my brothers. So the takeaway here is one, not to internalize what you're feeling, right? Because he said he had some things to say. And I was like, did he just fucking say that to me? And I was about to feel some type of way, but I had to calm myself down and say, okay, cool. It's not about me. He's on a different level. I'm on a different level. I got to salvage this somehow. You're still having a good time with this person. So you don't have to turn into a negative. You can just kind of come back into it, get out of your head a little bit and be like, okay, how do I pivot this? How do I make this work? And the second takeaway is attunement. Like really focus on the partner or the partners that you're with. Really read the room. Check out their vibe. If you need to, like have a conversation before you engage in sex. Be like, yo, like, what are you into? And you'll get the feel of them, the way they answer you. Really pay attention to body language, pay attention to eye contact, pay attention to their voice. You can tell a lot on someone's energy by the way they speak, their tone, how fast they're talking, how slow they're talking. Really pay attention to those cues. And I think what people often neglect to do is that. And so they just assume that this person's going to be on their level simply because, we think we're amazing and we and we want people to be excited about the sex they're going to have with us. Um, but that's not always necessarily the case, um, which happened to me in this situation. So I just thought it was really cool that I could use these new tools and skills that I'm learning and then implement them in real life, and then they actually worked, which is the thing that I found most empowering because I was able to have like a really great time, and he's gonna come back. So I'll keep you updated on that. Um, yeah. So that's a really cool exercise. So, feel free to use that in your next endeavor, in the next person that you encounter. Um, and I think you're gonna have a really great time. And it's something that I wish I would have learned a long time ago, but hey, I'm learning it now. Um, and I was able to use it in a real life situation, and then I can tell you all about that situation, and hopefully you implement it in your own life. Again, attunement doesn't necessarily have to be with sex. It can be with anything that you're working on. It could be with family. It could be in your professional life. Um, Again, like I said, another really cool way to think about it is just to read the room. You know, if you're feeling some type of way, just read the room, see where everyone's at, meet them where they are, and then you're gonna have a really pleasant time. It's gonna be really good. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a short episode today. What's another thing that's happening? I have an article coming out. I wrote it 2 weeks ago, I believe, and it should be coming out on Wednesday. It's a really cool article. It's another exercise that I learned that I wrote out that you can implement in your next bait session. It's a breathing exercise that I learned that really has helped me in my own masturbation practice. It's really cool. It's all about embodiment and like getting into your body and feeling yourself and really coming to terms with who you are as a sexual person. Um, and it's a way to like get out of your head and get more into your body, because you got to feel your sex, man. It's not always mental. It's like, we're fucking with our bodies. We're touching people and like we're breathing, and we got to stay present, and we have to like, be with ourselves so we can be with others. So that article comes out. I'll definitely make sure to share that. Um, and yeah, I'm going to come back next week. I hope to have a special guest. I'm working on a couple of special guests for this podcast for the remainder of the year. So it's going to be really, really fun. And look forward to that. Okay, brothers, that's it for this podcast. I am sending you love, light, lots of penis love. Again, enjoy the rest of your week. Be productive. Be kind to yourselves. Love yourselves. And I will catch you on the next episode of the Bate Escape. This has been your boy Beastly Bader, and I'll see you around. Later.